Well, hello, welcome to Music City Mix. I'm Chris Wilhite. This is Donnie Nolan. We are your hosts on this journey through all things Middle Tennessee, from real estate to renovations to sports and politics. If it happens in the Middle Tennessee area, we are going to talk about it all while enjoying a nice glass of bourbon. So pull up a chair, crack open a bottle, and let's get this thing started. Donnie, what are we drinking tonight?
If you missed it, I was pouring John Wick favorite Blantons. If you don't know about Blantons, it is a Buffalo Trace distillery. Chris has got a new bottle right there. I just popped a new bottle right here. Mine has a born on date of, well, I can't see it. We're not going to talk about that right now. But anyway, Blanton's was a $50 bottle for a long time. Then this movie came out called John Wick. John is a bad MF. And he walks in and he goes, "Give me a Blanton's." And everybody on the planet is like, I want to be like John Wick. I want a Blanton's. I was already a Blanton's drinker by then, but by that said, we're drinking Blanton's tonight. Did you pour a fresh bottle?
I just finished the end of my last bottle. So once this is gone, I got to pop that one.
Well, let's go, sir. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Blanton's is like Buffalo Trace with cocaine. It's just an upgrade. It's like better. It's like Buffalo Trace with ecstasy. It's like Buffalo Trace with marijuana. It's like Buffalo Trace with a free tax rebate of $5,000. It's
You touched your microphone and you got rid of your sound.
It's like everything Buffalo Trace wants to be, but with strippers. Or it's like Buffalo Trace with a tax refund. It's like Buffalo Trace with a free car. It's just better. That's all there is to it. I mean,
lottery tickets.
Exactly. It's Buffalo Trace with a free lottery ticket that wins.
That's right. Our own little Buffalo or our own little Blantons story. So Donnie and I were kind of neck and neck about a year and a half ago or so on TikTok. And so we were out at his house and we're hanging out and we're cooking some steaks and we're drinking a little bit. And I said, you know what? First person to 1,000 followers on TikTok buys the other one a bottle of Blantons. And he's like, all right, you're on. So he was like at 180 at the time. And I think I was at like 147, 150, something like that. Pretty close, pretty neck and neck. Well, this jackass makes some comment on some big name better girl that does sports betting, and all these people love his comment. So he goes from 180 to 960 overnight. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But what was funny is he stayed there.
I did.
Forever. And like he would lose a couple, gain a couple. And during that time, I came up, I think when you ended up hitting 1,000, I had made it up to 800 and something.
That's true. It's very true.
But
very true.
You talk about it being $50 something at the time. It was so hard for me to find that bottle that I had to buy you. It took forever, and you gave me hell for it forever. But
I did. It's true story.
When I finally found it, I had to go all the way out to Lebanon, and it cost me $169 for that one bottle.
Very true.
Freaking TikTok followers.
It's very true. I mean, and all it takes, I mean, we've seen this on social media a lot. If you get hot, like I had a 20-6 run on sports betting for Coach's Call on Tap. If you're not following us on Coach's Call on Tap, you can follow me on Coach's Call on Tap. I'm wearing the shirt. I got a 20-6 run. I mean, numbers went up. If I go 6-20, ain't nobody following me. I mean, it's the other way around. So it only takes, I think that was a Natalie Bode was her name. And I gave her 4 picks. I went 4-0 and everybody thought I was king. I mean, that's not how sports betting works. If you are into sports betting, you really want to be at that 57 to 61%. I mean, you're not going to get over 61. If you're over 61, it's going to come down. I mean, it's just a mathematical equation. But if you can go 50, if you go 57, 61, you're going to be profitable. You're going to stay in the game. You're going to move forward and grow your bankroll. And that's all you really want to do. So, yeah, I mean, that's how it worked out. But, hey,
Well,
let's
you're
talk
still
about,
my go-to for it, though. Whenever I'm wanting to, you're still the one I'll call when I want to know. Okay, who am I
I know
betting
you
on?
are.
How am I turning this $4 into $8? I mean, come on.
I mean, we've done it. We've done it more than once, but,
Right?
that's how it goes. Hey, let's talk. This is Music City Mix. If you haven't followed us, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all those social medias. I'm doing a new special where I'm reviewing Middle Tennessee food
Yeah.
places. I've done Hunter's Custom Auto or Hunter's Station is what it's called now. I did who was the one I did the other day? Koji Express, which is a
There you go.
Japanese steakhouse. I have another one coming up tomorrow. I'm not going to name it right now, but I've already videoed it. It's going to be up tomorrow. We're going to be doing these. So if you guys are coming to Music City or if you're new to Music City, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, you can follow us and see like maybe, hey, this is a place that I want to go and have a drink, have some food, maybe a snack, a beverage, whatever, and see if it's something that you would like. I mean, we're not just going to do food. We're going to do drinks as well. I know me and you had we ate lunch at a place called the Goat.
Oh,
And
yes.
they did this, what was that? Was it John Wayne
Yes,
old
it was
fashioned?
the John Wayne smoked old fashioned. Man, I mean, let me tell you, that thing was amazing. And thankfully, luckily, I filmed every bit of her making that. And it's a TikTok video at the moment, but I'll definitely switch it over because the things that they do and the different little like the wood chips and what was it she put on it was a piece of bacon, I think, that was put on
It was
a
something
toothpick.
rosemary or
Yeah.
something like.
Oh my gosh. And man, when she opened up the lid on that and that smoke rolled out of there, the flavor in that was just she did it with Buffalo Trace. I think they normally do it with Woodford or I can't remember what she said
I
they
think it was
normally do it
Angel
with.
Envy. Or no, it's Bullet.
Bullet, that's what it was. And I was like, well, let's do it with Buffalo Trace because I'm a little bit more of a fan of Buffalo Trace. And buddy, let me tell you, you want to talk about some good stuff. That was good.
Yeah. And it
That's
was
at
an awesome video. I mean, and that's what we want to do. We want to bring you things that you may not see in Nashville, or if you're coming to Nashville, let's say you're visiting from out of town, you're on your bachelor or bachelorette party, you want to see what does Nashville have to offer that may not be on the downtown strip or the
right.
normal way. Let's say you are, I mean, the one I'm doing tomorrow is from Brentwood. Brentwood is a suburb of Nashville. I mean, it's not really Nashville, it's Williamson County, Tennessee. It's about 15 minutes outside of Nashville, but I mean, it's really realistically it's a suburb, right? And it's a little chicken place. I walked in, they are packed. I waited 12 minutes to get a to-go order. And I mean, it was fresh, it was hot. I mean, you'll see the video tomorrow. I literally bite something. Oh man, that's hot. Like, and I don't mean spicy hot. I mean it was fresh.
Yeah.
So we want to bring you things that are unique to Nashville, that allow you to experience what we experience every day. I mean, now, do I normally eat at all these places?
No.
I mean, I don't. But if I can help you out and you enjoy it, then why not? I mean, isn't that how you feel?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you're looking for a podcast where you can watch somebody eat and they tell you all about it, you have come to the right place.
Excellent. Excellent, bro. I mean, we talked about doing another podcast, another little TikTok,
Little series.
YouTube series and we want to hear you guys' opinion. What do you think about us interviewing bachelor and bachelorette parties
In
that are
downtown.
downtown. In downtown, those are downtown. And if you haven't been to downtown Nashville on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, packed, wall to wall, packed bachelor bachelorette parties.
If you don't know what woo girls are, you will after this series.
Man, 5 to 12 men or women that are walking the streets with the little things that say, I'm a bachelor, I'm a bachelorette, I'm the bride, I'm the soon to be husband. And they are literally walking downtown saying, we're going to take over Nashville. This is the new Vegas.
If you find somebody downtown that's got a sash that says soon to be husband, that sumbitch is going on video for sure. Because
that
your mic. Get your mic. Get your mic. Check your mic. Check your mic.
We want to video you and we want to say, hey, are you going to take over Nashville or is Nashville going to take over you? And then we want to come back in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And see what happened.
Yeah.
Because
see how far along they come.
Me and you have been here a lot. And we think that Nashville's going to kick your ass if you ain't careful.
And that's what's going to happen. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And we're going to tear this place up. And like 4 hours later, half of them are in a restaurant bent over the toilet throwing up. I mean,
or they're hanging over Jason Aldean's bar rail going, oh, I can't handle it.
Now, so for sure, the best part of this series is going to be the after story. But
it's not the before, it's the after. Let's be serious. Now we got to make some. I got a friend of mine, Blake Kelly. Blake's a lawyer. Blake's a great friend of mine. He's my high school quarterback. Blake's drawing me up a consignment saying that, hey, sign this off and we're agreeing to show you as you're hanging over the rail because we want you to sign before you get hammered, not after. I think it's a great series.
It is going to be awesome.
Have you proposed this to your wife yet?
No, we haven't talked about it yet. It's my truck broke down. My truck blew up 2 days ago through a rod. It's a 2020 Ram 3500. All right, this thing's not old. No, but I had $100,000 warranty on it, and I'm at 103,000. So of course, that's the perfect time for it to do that. But yeah, through a rod, through a hole in the side of the engine block.
What kind of truck is it?
It's a Ram.
Dodge. Okay.
But yeah, whatever I ran over blew my back tire out. So yeah, so now my truck's at the Dodge dealership getting a new engine. Is gonna have to it's a whole new engine. I mean, so hopefully they could take parts off of the old one and just put it on a new block. We're hoping. Now I'm driving around in my mom's Altima. So how about that?
I have a Dodge story for you. I also had a Dodge. I had a Dodge Durango, 2017 Dodge Durango XLT. This was the high end, had the DVDs in the back seat so my kids could watch it. When I bought it, there was a knocking sound, and I spent the first month. I bought it used. I'll be honest, bought it used in 2021. They had to replace some stuff and it didn't work, and they replaced some other stuff, didn't work. They finally found it. It was the motor mounts, and they replaced the motor mounts and they fixed them. And, because there was this knocking when I would switch gears and I could hear it. And I thought, that's bad. That's a bad sound. Well, about a week and a half ago, I was pulling off the exit at my interstate about 1.5 miles from my house. And I hear this boom. And I'm like, that didn't sound like a normal sound. Well, the back motor mounts failed, dropped the engine, which engine and transmission go like this.
Yeah.
And they did this. Split the motor on the block on the backside, split the housing for the transmission on the backside, and dropped the engine and transmission about $9,200. And I'm like, yeah, let's go on and throw that on the auction. I went on and I did go down to the dealership, spent about 6 hours at the dealership. Man, I can tell you this. I am not a person who spends money recklessly. And they wanted me to finance a $20,000 to $40,000 car and spend an extra $10,000 to finance that car. I think the last words I said to them were, listen, I have a Ford Raptor I drove out here. If you don't get me the papers to sign to auction this car, I will drive my Raptor over every car in this lot and then drive away and claim I was temporarily insane. Or you can give me the paperwork to sign and auction the car, because I'm not buying a car and spending $10,000 to pay for another car that I don't really want. So,
I mean, they're
yeah,
just
I
doing
mean,
the job, that's just what.
guess what the same situation we have are? They're both Dodges.
Yeah. Well,
Have
mine,
we have we learned a lesson yet?
no, I mean, that's all I've driven since '07. I bought a Ram 1500 in '07. I ended up giving it to my son. Right now it's sitting at 300,000 miles. Not a single thing wrong with it. I bought after I gave that to him, I bought an 11 Ram 1500. Now I messed that one up because I was pulling a 14,000 pound horse trailer with a Ram 1500, which screwed that transmission all up.
Okay.
So had an 18 Ram 1500 that my wife drove, and then I've had this 3500.
Okay.
So I mean, I love Dodge. I absolutely love a Ram. It's about the only truck I'll have. Your mic's out again. Your mic's out again.
I said, maybe you just had bad luck. I'm gonna stick with Raptor or Ford, and I got a Raptor, and I'm gonna drive over all the Dodges. That's my rule.
That little truck of yours ain't driving over my Ram, baby.
I beg to differ. I think me and you get in a fight. Guess who's scratched up worse?
Oh, I'm scratched up worse with your but
because I
you
got that rhino liner. I got that rhino liner on mine, bro. That's
but you
what we're
strap
talking
them
about.
up at the back and see who pulls. Who's going to pull who out of their feet?
Whatever. Hey, let's move on. Guess what? The Tennessee Titans have a new head coach. And we talked about it last week. He was the first person to get a second interview, Brian Callahan. If you did not see the changes in the Titans organization, Rand Carthen got promoted to full control of player development, player management, player everything. They upgraded their VP or their assistant GM to president of player organization. So they've really kind of changed the organization. They've said, hey, Rand is in charge of everything. The president is charge of player development, but he's going to get his pecking order from Rand, and the coach coaches who we've got. And Brian Callahan, I'll give him credit. He is dedicated to the players. He loves the players. The players love him. You look at T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, all of those, those wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, they all look at that OC of Brian Callahan and they said, we love playing for him. We want to play for him. I can only think that in contrast to Vrabel, who we're now seeing, if you haven't seen the reports coming out today, I think it was Paul Kuharsky released that Vrabel interrupted a defensive coordinator's meeting, kicked the DC out, changed some stuff up. Then in the Kansas City game, he literally said, no, we're not running this coverage. We're in cover 2, which we don't have the player personnel for because we were injured.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can say this from an outsider, and I'm an outsider. I'm not an insider. I don't have connections. I'm not going to say I have connections, but from an outsider, seeing what Kaharski and some of the A to Z sports guys are saying, they're all saying the same thing. Vrabel interrupted coaches, changed coaches' perspectives, and that created the diversity between coaches and personnel. And when you do that, you undermine your coaches. I said this on a TikTok when Vrabel left. I thought it was a good thing because I did not think that he had the coaches' respect because he did not respect them. And now it's coming out that not only did he not respect them, he disrespected them, which is even worse. I mean, if you hire your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinators, strength and conditioning coach, special teams coach, you give them the authority to build their game plan, build their system, build their setup, and then respect it. When you disrespect that, you're saying, I don't think you are competent to do your job, and I'm going to oversee your authority. And when that happens, you lose your team. I mean, you literally lose your team. And I know people like Derrick Henry have said, hey man, he was a great coach. He was special. He was, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I mean, Derrick's gonna say that. I mean, he doesn't want to be. Derrick's a stand-up guy. He's not gonna say a bad thing about Vrabel. When you look at somebody like AJ Brown, Kevin Byard, who are like, yeah, Vrabel sucked. Like, he was disrespectful. He disrespected our OC. He disrespected our DC. Those are the guys I trust. I like Derrick. I think Derrick's a stand-up guy, but I don't think Derrick's going to throw somebody under the bus because he still loves the city. Where AJ Byard's Mr. Murfreesboro, and he's like, hey, it wasn't the same in the locker room. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think Brian is the right call? Or let me ask you this.
I really do.
Do you think Vrabel, it's coming out now that he was a lot worse than a lot of people thought.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the truth, or do you think that's like, just somebody trying to blow up their ego?
No, I 100% think that that's the truth. And I also know that's why, in my mind, that's why we didn't go after the big name coaches that were available, like Belichick and like Harbaugh, because they're that same type of coach that are going to want full control all the time to do whatever they need. Look, Brian Callahan, 5 years at the Bengals as their offensive coordinator, right? So in that 5 years, though, he was not the play caller. And
Right.
so, that's something that I see coming to that he's bringing to this, and he's already said that he will not give, his first Tennessee offensive coordinator that responsibility. Callahan
Right.
is going to call the Titans offensive plays, which that's awesome. He's got, you think about who he's been under. Zach Taylor, he's been under John Gruden, he's been under Gary Kubiak. I am 100% on this train. And I don't, that there's a lot of people that are complaining, a lot, folks that said because there was all these other folks out there that we could have picked up, but we hit a home run.
No, I think we did.
Hit a home run.
I think we did.
So I don't know.
I think overall, like, if you look at who other teams have hired, I think out of the park, we hit the home run. I would have loved to have seen. I mean, the Raiders took their guy. I mean, that is their guy. But I don't think he's the coach for here. We needed explosiveness. We needed pizzazz. We needed flash.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
needed fury. We needed everything that he's not.
But I don't
And
think there's anybody out there that didn't think Antonio Pierce was going to stay at the Raiders.
yeah,
Everybody knew he was staying.
no,
So, I
I
mean, I
agree.
really never even, I mean, I wouldn't have minded him, honestly, but I think everybody knew he wasn't coming. He wasn't going anywhere.
No, I
But
mean, he was set. I mean, as long as the Raiders offered him the spot, he was there.
yeah,
Hey, here's the question. Where's Vrabel go? Because I mean, he's looking like he's the odd man out right now, right?
it's really kind of strange. I mean, when he first was fired, everybody's like, oh, he's going to be on the top of the list. And yeah, no, he's not on the top of the list at all.
No, not even
You know,
close.
but it's the whole thing of like we're sitting here talking about. This stuff is coming out. People are seeing, really what it was. As far as Brian Callahan, look, him not calling the plays in Cincinnati, it pretty much undoubtedly held Callahan back, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Considering the success of the Bengals offense, generated during Joe Burrow's early years, it held him back. So, man, I'm looking at a big year. I'm seeing, it's not going to be this first year. Oh, hey, we've done everything. The Titans are set. We're going to the playoffs. We might go to the playoffs, maybe. But
Sure.
this is in my opinion, this is a 5-year run, and at the end of that 5 years, we're going to be a team to reckon with.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%.
This is what I'm starting to sound like, though. Oh, next year's our year. It's our year. But I really feel like Callahan was a great hire, and I think he is going to absolutely open up and explode now that he has that freedom to do so.
I agree. I think that we are set for not only 2024, but 2025, 2026. I'm excited. I mean, if you look at the players, they're all excited to play for him. He he loves his players. I mean, if you look at Vrabel, he was disconnected from his players. It, you hear the ones that, like Eric Henry talk about and Ryan Tannehill talk about how good he was. But you hear people that left, none of them were like, man, I really miss Vrabel. He was a great coach. You hear that about, you know, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. They're all like, man, we hate to see him go.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I want to hear. I want to hear those people that say, God, I hate losing him because he was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And I'm excited about it, and if you're a Titans fan and you're not on board with this, it's happening anyway. I'm sorry, but this is a home run, guys. This is a home run. We have got a great opportunity here. We've got finally a great offensive minded coach, which, let's just be honest, that's what we've been lacking. We've had this powerhouse running back forever, and which made and I'm sorry if you like Tannehill, but this running back made this mediocre quarterback look good because everybody's afraid of the run, so the pass opened up. But bless you.
Man, I'm
Yeah,
sneezing like a mother.
I'm ready for this coming season, man. I cannot wait to see the kind of changes we're going to have. I cannot wait to see what we're going to bring in as far as the weak sides of the coaching that we've had from strength and conditioning to the positional coaches. Man, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's go Titans. I'm telling you.
I am too. I am super excited. I'm super stoked. I think this is the year that we start that ascent. I mean, did we ascend under Vrabel? Yeah, but I mean, now
We did.
if you look at it under what's coming out under A to Z Sports and Paul Kaharski and 104.5, they have said that, he disrespected Malarkey, he disrespected everything that had gone up before him, he interrupted meetings. Like it's really looking bad for him. And now I see why he's not getting those interviews. Because when a team calls and says, "Hey, we want to interview your head coach, your ex-head coach. What do you have to say about him?" Hey, listen, this is what he did. This is what he did. We're just being honest.
Yeah.
And when that happens, those teams are like, I mean, he was supposed to interview with Atlanta and Carolina and did not get those. He interviewed for San Diego, didn't get it. Obviously, it went to Jim Harbaugh. Didn't get Atlanta, didn't get Carolina. What's
How
left?
about that? How about
I
that?
mean,
Harbaugh going to the Chargers. Now we got to look
uh,
at Michigan. Well, who's
but here's
Michigan?
the kicker. Here's the kicker. Does Vrabel get a spot next year, or does he go back to coordinator? I think he goes to coordinator. If that, he may take a year off because the only spots you got left are like Seattle, which you're probably not going to get. I mean, New England's gone, Carolina's gone, Atlanta's gone.
Cleveland get did Cleveland get their
Cleveland didn't change. Cleveland didn't change a bit.
Cleveland was
Um,
changing something. They were changing
they're not changing head coach.
head coaches. Yeah.
Um, Atlanta's gone. I mean, you got people like Belichick and who was Seattle's head coach? I can't think of his name. Older guy. Anyway, he's both of those guys are gone. They're not getting interviewed. So why would Vrabel get interviewed? I mean, he's not going to get interviewed for LA. I mean, LA's gone with Harbaugh now. I mean, you've got teams out there now that are pretty much saying, yeah, we don't want the problems that Vrabel had. So good
Well,
luck.
everything here for the Titans is, I mean, it's we've got a lot going on, with Callahan coming in. We got this new stadium that's being built. I think they just announced I think it's 24 different firms that are going to be a part of the construction companies that are going to build it. $2.1 billion to complete the new stadium. So there's a lot going on with the Titans this year, man. I'm really excited for it. I really am. These next 2025 seasons are going to be freaking awesome. I just can't wait.
I agree. I think
Wait,
it's going to be a great thing. I'm super stoked, not only because of where the Titans are, but because of where Rand Carthen is, Amy Strong is. They're looking at the future and they're saying, hey, we're not next year, we're the next 5 years. We want to
yeah,
bring Tennessee to a destination point like the
yeah,
Jets have been, or not the Jets, the Eagles have been, or the the Dolphins have been. We want to bring people here that want to see not only one ring but 5 rings or or 3 rings. I think that's the kicker.
well, I'm excited for it. They're here for the city of Nashville. They are going to absolutely increase not only the tourism, they're going to increase the sales for the folks in Nashville. I mean, everything's going great, brother, and I cannot wait to see the Titans over the next couple of years. Yeah, sports around here is awesome. For those of y'all that are looking at Nashville for a place to move, I mean, when from the Titans to the Predators, there is such a pronounced sports atmosphere and sports culture in this city. I mean, when they had the NFL draft here, everything is just overly done, and it's overly done to perfection, if you ask me. So
I agree
this is a
100%.
this is a great sports city, and I think more and more people will realize that as time goes on. So let's switch gears just a little bit. So you know who Conway Twitty is, right? So
I do.
Conway Twitty was a country music star that he passed away years ago. Of course, he's back in the day, did songs like "Hello, Darling" and had some really great songs. Well, he had a house that was in Hendersonville that was called Twitty City. He had it was like
I
a
do
man.
know that area.
Yeah, so there was a huge uproar about it because there was a construction company coming in and they were going to put in assisted living houses. It was about 96 assisted living houses. They were going to be tearing down the mansion for everything. And of
Okay.
course, the folks in the area threw up their hands, said absolutely not. This is not what we want. And thankfully, the boards that voted on it said that they did not give their approvals. But the cool part about this, the
Okay.
construction company that was over this said that they thought about it, they prayed about it, they talked to people about it. They have decided that even though it's going to cost them more money, because apparently money wasn't really the issue in this entire thing, they are going to decrease the amount of assisted living homes that they are building, and they are going to restore the entire mansion. And
Interesting.
there, that is awesome. That is amazing. That is such a
I
huge
agree.
that is such a huge place for country music for the entire for folks that want to come and check out places and tour things like that. Man, it's awesome. I thought that was an excellent thing for Hendersonville, and kudos to you guys that voted for it and kept it up and kept it standing. And kudos to this construction company that is going to actually spend their own money to renovate this thing and keep it standing. So great
No,
job.
I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, man, kudos you guys. If you are not from Music City and you don't know Conway Twitty, that place out there in Hendersonville, is it Hendersonville or Gallatin? It's
No,
it's
it's
like right
Hendersonville.
on
Yeah, it's
Hendersonville. It's right on the border, right?
yeah, it's really close.
I mean,
Yes.
it is a big area. There's a lot of people that drive by it every day, but Woody City is, I mean, I've driven by it 1,000 times, and it has always been a place where people felt like they could go and experience Music City. Downtown Nashville, outside of Nashville, it is the place to go. And man, I'm super excited. I love it. It's always been a place, at home for me. So yeah, I mean, I'm ready to go.
So I was looking it up while you were talking there. So it's a company called Trinity Broadcasting Network is who bought the property and renamed themselves to Trinity Music City. And then the construction company is called Amedia, Amedia.
Okay. Okay.
So heck yeah, kudos to both of these companies for, in my opinion, doing the right thing. I love it.
I agree. 100%. 100%. I mean, that's what we want to see out of these, Middle Tennessee areas that are getting back to their roots. I mean, because that's what this is. This is the roots of Nashville. These are the Conway Twitties, the George Joneses, the Scruggs, the the Hank Juniors. These are the guys that made Nashville pop. You know, in the 80s and 90s, these are the guys that made you want to come to Nashville. So yeah, I'm all for it. I love it. I think it's a great thing.
I tell you what, 80s and 90s, man, I was big into singing. I thought that was going to be my career for a long time. So I thought I was going to be the next big thing for country music or whatever. And it wasn't in the plans, but in the late 80s and in the 90s, I was going out all the time to the Nashville Palace out there off Music Valley Drive. They've changed locations. I think they're like 3 or 4 doors down now from where they were, but
They are.
they had this contest, the singing contest. It was called Tuesday New Talent Night, and on
I remember
Tuesdays
that.
you would go out there and you would sign up to sing, and you'd go up and tell the band, you'd give the band 2 songs, and they would play the songs for you. And to this day, I am the record holder for the most wins of the Nashville Palace New
Are
Talent
you
Night.
sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, and because I never gave up, man. Now
Well, you
honestly,
want, hey, you may be a spitter, but you ain't a quitter.
that's right. But I thought I had it going on for a while, and I had a lot of good things working for me. My ex-wife did not uh she was not on board with it at all. She didn't like me going to the writers' nights and being out and everything. And it's so,
Okay, fair enough.
she and I ended up getting divorced.
I
And it
got
was
I got ex-wives that don't believe in me, so yeah, it's fine.
So, but yeah, man, 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s and 90s in Nashville was a huge time, and country music's not like it was back then. There's still some good folks in it. The music's changed a little bit, but there's still that mutual respect. So,
Sure,
um,
sure.
and Nashville's not all about country anyway. I mean, and it really never has been all. And when it says Music City,
Well, now let's be
everything.
serious. People don't realize that.
They really don't.
Nashville is the number one hub for the music industry. And the reason that is because it was about 20 years ago, the internet infrastructure changed here. Like we got to see more T1, more T4, more T20 coming in. And the recording studios, which aren't just to country music, which are overall, like Kid Rock came here, Bon Jovi came here, so many people came here to record music,
A lot of
not because,
soul, a lot of rhythm and
yeah,
blues, a lot of,
but
yeah, rock and roll,
rock,
rap,
pop,
rap.
everything, rap, everything came here because we had the best recording studios that then transverse to the best moving the recording digitally to the system that allowed it to be, integrated and whatever. That was huge. Nashville is one of the top 10 internet leaders in moving data. When I say data, it can be recording, it can be video, it can be whatever. You see people like, Daily Wire moved here. You see people, like, what's a sports betting? There all kinds of different industries moved here because of our data moving. It was our ability to move data. And when that happened, we saw a whole change of data movement. And that's huge. I mean, if you can move data, let's say you are in Idaho and you move data at 100 megabytes per second, but you're in Tennessee and you move 100 gigabytes per second. That's a huge difference, especially if you're talking about, I'm going to transfer this 10-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute, 7-minute recording
Yeah.
in video that's 5, 10, 20 gigabytes over. That's a huge difference. So when we saw that happen, Nashville became a hub for recording, video recording, music recording, digital recording, all of that.
Yeah.
And when that
It's not
happened,
just country,
I
it's
mean, it just,
everybody.
yeah, it exploded.
It's awesome, and it's not California, so that's also a big
Well,
thing.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a huge thing. I mean, we don't have to pay the California taxes, right?
Well, the California taxes, there's none of the California stupidity and everything else that people are fleeing that state for because
Man, there's not a ton of California stupidity. There's just only like a little bit.
just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. Just a
Well,
little
there's a lot of folks that are moving to Tennessee, a lot of folks that are moving to the Nashville
bit. Hey,
area.
what's the number one place coming from what's the number one place coming in Tennessee from?
It's still from Los Angeles.
That's right. Why is that? Because LA sucks.
It sucks. That's right.
My opinion, that is not Chris's opinion. Chris is a realtor. I'm a contractor. I can say LA sucks.
Well, here's the thing. So I pride myself on trying to get the most accurate information as far as things go real estate wise. And I will tell you this. back in November, I made a Facebook post about this. Back in November, it was forecasted that from January 24 through December 24, that home prices in nationwide were going to drop by 0.01%, that things were going to decline. And they were basing a lot of that off of the fact that we were sitting on 8% interest rates, seven plus interest rates. And I did not agree. And I told everybody that. And I got a lot of backlash. I got a lot of backlash on my TikTok channels of, oh, I'm just trying to get people to buy. I'm just, I'm always going to say it's the best time. So now that interest rates have dropped twice, we're below 7. We can get some FHA and VA loans in the 5s. And people are starting to jump into this thing. So now they reforecast. And guess what? 3 to 3.5% increase from January to December is what they're expecting throughout this year. So what does that say? Get in the market now. One, I was right.
It said you were right. I'm just saying.
Get in the market right now, or as quick as you can, because as you're going to get less house for the same money if you wait. And I told everybody that. I'm like, look, as soon as these rates drop, and they're going to drop, and they're expected to drop another 2 times in the next 6 to 8 months. As soon as these rates drop, everybody that's waiting is going to jump into this market. And what's that going to do? It's going to take all the houses and all the inventory that we got and shrink it down again. And that means we're going to be paying extra for houses that over what we're paying now. The value of the house is going to go up, so there's going to be multiple offers again. We're going to be back in situations where people are not giving an inspection contingency, which in my opinion is stupid. Don't buy a house and don't and not do the inspection. At least at the very least, do what's called a pass fail, which means you are going to do the inspection. And by doing that, you're not looking for a honey-do list, because every inspector is going to give you a book this thick of everything that's wrong with this place. It doesn't even matter if this place they finished building it last week. There's still stuff wrong with it.
Right,
and
exactly.
They're going to have this huge list of stuff to do, and you're not looking for a honey-do list. You're looking for foundation issues. You're looking for roofing issues. You're looking for black mold. You're looking for stuff that's a major issue. And you do this pass-fail inspection, and if you don't have these major issues, then you say, hey, you know what? We're good. We're not asking for repairs. We're good. Now, in the event that you find something wrong, you have 2 options. You can say, if it's a pass fail, you automatically can back out if you want to. You get your earnest money back.
Exactly.
You're done. You can leave. But you can also say, I'm not passing it because you have a foundation issue. Now, if you want to fix this foundation issue, I will stay in the contract. That sometimes works.
Right.
But at least you are protected. Do not. And if you have a realtor that tells you to don't do your home inspection, even if it's multiple offers, you're using the wrong realtor. You need to call me and do this thing right. Just saying.
Call Chris. He will take care of you.
Look, I got all excited and hyped up about it. I can't stand that.
He can't stand it. I'll be honest with you. If you want a good realtor, and listen, I've had multiples over my lifetime. I've had 4. I love Chris. Chris got me the best price at the best time. My time was right before the crash. We both knew it, right? I told you, hey, it's just gonna come down. But we got it at the best time, literally, what was it, weeks before the crash? And I say crash, it wasn't really a crash. It was like a slump. It was like a little dip. But we both knew it, and we both got over market value. We were happy. My boy got me taken care of.
Yeah. I'm still not putting it. It's not happening.
What is it?
Nothing.
Whatever. All right. Well, that's about it for tonight. Hey, listen, join us on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram Shorts. I have another food review coming out tomorrow. If you haven't seen it, it's because it's not out yet, but it's coming tomorrow. And maybe this weekend, we're going to start a new series. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I know my girlfriend is not excited for it. I'm sure your wife isn't excited for it, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be something that we can look at, laugh at. I mean, if you're coming to Nashville, you gotta laugh at it. I mean, it's like Vegas. Everybody says they are the wolf pack and they're going to Vegas, they're going to take over Vegas. No, you're not. Vegas has seen 1,000 groups like you, and they ain't scared. Like, they're not scared at all.
It's
Like,
just in that one day they saw one.
yeah, I mean, Nashville's not scared of your 12-person bachelorette party. Like,
that's on a pedal bar going up Broadway.
yeah, I mean, but hey, we want to see it. We want you to embarrass yourself. We want you to have fun. We're going to showcase you. We want to see you. That's our thing.
Hey, stay tuned in the next coming weeks. We're going to have some great guests on the show. Austin Smith with Party Foul, Zach Allen with Buddy Allen Carpet One, Jeff Green with Silver Oak Securities, and Landon Wyrick with Garage Rehab Group, as well as some great ones that Donnie's bringing along.
I got 4 that I'm bringing too. I ain't ready to announce them because they haven't signed the dotted line yet, but I got 4 that are ready. So we're going to see. I got roofers. I got marketing people. I got a brewery. Do you like beer? Do you like beer? Do you like beer?
Who doesn't like beer? I mean, come on.
I like beer. I like bourbon, but I like beer too. I got 4 that I'm bringing in. I think it's going to be great. We're excited. We're pumped up. I hope you are too.
Heck yeah. Things are going to be going off.
Buddy.
We're going to be finding us some places that, some offsite places where we can do our podcast that are pretty cool. And slowly but surely our equipment is getting better. So, hey, we from the first episode with an iPhone 15 to, now at least we both got microphones, right? So
hey, I've had a microphone, buddy. You haven't.
That's right. That's right.
All right, boys and girls. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate it. Talk at you later.
All right. See you.